And welcome. This is the Wednesday, March 16th, 2022 WORT Board of Directors meeting. It's 7:04 and 51 seconds, and I'm calling the meeting to order. The agenda was out on Google Drive, and folks have had a chance to take a look at that. If there are any corrections or additions, please let me know. Otherwise, we'll consider it adopted. I am working with my iPad as a second monitor, so I drag my mouse over to the iPad to do that. I am going to hold off on the February minutes because I did a pretty lousy job of finishing them. So I'm going to go back and do some more, and we'll do that in the April meeting. Sorry about that. But they're so incomplete that it doesn't make much sense to ask you to approve them. And I'm continuing to monitor the email in case anybody else has any questions on email. There are no communications from the public. Doug and Tom are here from the staff. And come on. Doug and Tom, do you have any communications from staff that you want to share with us?
I don't believe so, outside of the board reports.
Yep.
Yeah. I know I have an action item in mind about promoting WORT-Stock on Facebook.
Yep, I've got that on as an action item, which we'll get to at your.
Not communications per se, no.
Yep, good, thanks. There were no executive committee actions since the last meeting. We did not have a finance committee meeting because everybody was busy finishing off the pledge drive. There was a late report from Susan that just was sent. Susan had a scare and went into the emergency room, and we're glad that she's back home and safe. And she did finish a board report. She said that we did meet our goal for this winter pledge drive. So I put together a new document for credit union balances. So if you look on the agenda, there's a thing called credit union balances. And so it has the balances that are the combined balances of Summit Credit Union, and what's the other one, Marty? Mine is going blank. Heartland, yeah, together. And I also now am graphing them so you can see how our bank balances are changing month to month. So you can see if they're making any big jumps up and down, and they're not. They're making little jumps. So, and hopefully over time we can get more graphical charts to help us judge what's happening. Welcome, Rebecca. I'm going to run up and mark you present on our agenda here.
Thank you.
WORT is in wonderful shape. I should have, pardon me. I apologize. KJ Berzian is here. They are our new board member. I'll get this right. And I wanted to say welcome. Did you want to say hello and say a little bit about what you do for the station?
Sure. First of all, it's great to be here and to be a part of this board. I've been with the station about 2 years, primarily working on Query as a host and engineer. But I've also done some reporting for the 6 o'clock news as well, as my schedule has permitted. But yeah, I'm just really happy to be here. So thanks for having me.
Welcome, KJ.
Thank you.
Welcome, KJ. Glad you're here.
Welcome.
You're welcome. Delay. Trying to figure out the mute.
Sorry for not doing that first. That should have been first order of business, but thank you. The next report that has an action item is the business and events report, Doug's report. And Doug's request on that action item is go to the Facebook event for the Wortstock and accept the invitation, say you're going, and invite your friends and do the old social media thing. In general, WORT doesn't advertise like commercial radio stations do. And so our primary way of getting our word out is by word of mouth and friend to friend. So we need to keep doing that to succeed.
Well, actually, we will be employing a number of additional strategies for this year's party. I did purchase an ad in 2 issues of the East Side News. For those people who get the East Side News, they may see the new ad, as well as an ad trade with Isthmus as well. Plus, we will have our own on-air promo, of course, that will go out to all of our listeners. So,
but we can't.
Facebook's just another tool that we can use that costs absolutely nothing. So it's up to all of us to use it to the full extent.
Right. But we can't promote ourselves to somebody who's not listening to us. So that's why we have to find out other ways to tell people we're here. So that's all I'm saying.
Exactly right, Doug.
There was a last minute request from Sybil to let another, how do I say this?
Was that from Tom, really? Was that on behalf of Tom? I think I read.
Yeah, it was on behalf of Tom. And
Because Tom's here in the meeting, I thought.
no, that's a different Tom.
Different Tom. Yeah.
Oh, ha 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 ha.
Spelled the same way though.
That was very confusing to me.
Yeah. Took me a minute too, Kai.
I don't think that since Gio Gonzalez is already a host, I don't think that we're breaking our policy by letting the 2 work together so that there can be a handoff, because Tom is going to be taking paternity leave soon. So he just wants to bring somebody in and show them the ropes on the new show. So I don't think we need to take action as a board for that request. And I said that to Sybil in an email an hour or 2 ago. So unless you have any questions or objections, and then we can consider it.
I have no objections.
Okay. Well, I think that means that's all we have to talk about on tonight's meeting, which is stunningly short. Do you all have questions, issues you want to talk about?
I had one question about who's the new Friday Buzz host, because it looks like there was 2 people that were narrowed down to. Are we allowed to say who they are, or?
I haven't seen a final announcement yet.
Oh,
Doug,
okay.
do you know?
No,
Doug?
that's not known yet.
Yeah.
No, I'll ask Shali if she wants
Okay.
to tell me that.
Yeah. I will make a note that about COVID-19. I've seen evidence in two different situations. There's a graph that I've seen from Europe that shows infections in Europe of COVID are starting to climb again. And then I've seen a report from the United States that measurements from sewage have shown that there's an increase in infections. And when that happens, it usually takes 2 weeks or so for people to actually start showing symptoms and start showing up in hospitals. So we may see another rise in COVID-19. We haven't changed our masking policy at WRT, and we haven't changed our vaccination policy. So we don't have to take any action right now. I've been pushed by some program hosts, some volunteers, when are we going to release them from the requirement for wearing masks? And I said, not at this time. It's too soon to see what this next possible curve can happen. And there are too many people at WART who are immunocompromised. And if we just lose a couple of key people, we'd have a really hard time staying on the air, keeping programs on. So we still have to be very cautious. So that doesn't require any change on our part at all. So I think we're in good shape. So Tom, did you want to say something about the first audio over IP experiment? Tom reaches for his mute button.
There we go. Not anymore. That's in my report, I guess.
Right.
It works. Oh, I will say that the new X nodes, the ones that we ordered but hadn't received yet, so we were using a borrowed one from Laura, but the ones we ordered have shipped now. So we should be getting those end of this week, early next week.
So I'll give a little background. In the olden days, like today, every microphone and every CD player and every turntable has a wire that goes to the audio console and is plugged in. And there's in the walls and pipes, there's all sorts of wires to connect things. And audio over IP means that instead of using a physical wire, you connect them all to a Ethernet network. And then using a computer, you say the microphone in the middle studio can be connected to combo A or combo B. And it makes it much more easy to route things around and configure things. And so as we change over, it's a huge change technologically, but from the point of view of the listener, they won't hear much at all different.
It sounds better, so they'll hear a lot different, probably.
So, but I think most people don't hear that unless they listen a lot. So I'd like to think that more. But anyway, we will then be we're digital all the way from like from the CD player through the board out to the transmitter, and it's all digital now. So it's a cool thing. Shally, you're late. We've decided everything, and there's not much on the agenda tonight. So
Great, then there's no need to be here.
no, unless you wanted to announce what's happening on the Buzz on Friday.
I'm sorry, I'm literally getting a call. Hang on.
Okay, sorry about that.
What's your question? Do I have someone? No.
Do you have, okay, that was, have we not?
I did
Are we-
I wrote it at like very late at night. I said it was paused during the pandemic. It was paused during the pledge drive, not during the pandemic.
Okay.
But I mean, I'll walk through the process real quick. So I put an application up, distributed it, recruited people to sign up, but it was open to everyone. There were applicants and the finalists, and I think there were like 7 finalists, have been given a chance to host the show. And I thought I could squeeze them all in before the pledge drive, and I didn't. So there are 2 left, including one on Friday, this Friday. And then I'll consult with Austin, Ankur, Jim, and make a decision.
Great, thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
It's not related to that, but Doug, in your report, you noted that there is an election coming up. When do you need Stu, Alita, and myself to let you know if we're going to run for the board or not?
Well, I don't know that you need to necessarily let me know. Hi, I'm out in my car now.
Right.
But it's, we'll have to open the application process at the middle of April. So
Okay.
if you intend to rerun, that's the point where you submit an application for the new term.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Are there any other issues that people would like to discuss? We won't be having a dividend this year as usual because WORT is not a for-profit company. So the dividend we have is radio, good radio. And I just can't say enough about how amazing WORT is, from music to news, talk, public affairs. It's just great. So, and I think that when people listen to us, they recognize the difference between us and commercial radio, where the playlists are in the tens or hundreds of songs. Sometimes you think, I heard that song 5 hours ago, but and no commercials. I know that some people find our pledge drives annoying, but I find the commercials on commercial radio really annoying, and they're all the time. So that's the dividend that WRT gives. Shally, we had a great story on I think it was on a public affair about the Latino voices on NPR, which is a really interesting story. It's still on the website, so you guys can catch it if you're interested. It's amazing that even NPR has a struggle with diversity, equity, and inclusion. And do you want to share your story, Shally?
Not while we're recording, but I would love
Okay.
to another time.
Okay, very good. Let me see. All right. Well, I think that's it then, folks. I don't mean to keep everybody going. So
Well, I'll move to adjourn.
all right. Marty moves to adjourn, and Doug with 2 fingers seconds. I like that. So all in favor, say aye or give us a thumbs up.
Aye.
Hi.
All opposed, say no or a thumbs down. Are there any abstentions? The meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much. I will stop the recording here as soon as I figure out how to do that.
Yo, thanks everyone.